मेरी शहनाई माँ को पुकार रही है। देखिए किस तरीके से पहा में माँ की आवाज आ रही है, बार बार कह रही है माँ माँ माँ।
जय श्री माता जी। अब हम सब मिलकर श्री माता के श्री चरणों को प्रणाम कर कर कुंडलिनी उठाकर बंधन लेंगे। लेट अस ऑल बाउ डाउन एट श्री माता जी's lotus feet, raise कुंडलिनी and take बंधन। तीन महामंत्र एवं श्री गणेश मंत्र।
माँ साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः।
अपने चित्त को सहस्त्रार पर रखते हुए अब हम सब श्री माता की अमृतवाणी को सुनेंगे। Keeping our attention on Sahasrara, now we listen Shri Mataji's Amritvani. Jai Shri Mataji.
Now my stay in England is completing its 12th year. And that is the reason I wanted to talk to people about Sahaja Yoga, how far it has gone, and where are we lacking. The greatest thing that has happened is that we have established a religion, Nirmala Dharma, as we call it, the Vishwa Nirmala Dharma. And you know the meaning of the word Vishwa means universal, Nirmala means pure, and Dharma means religion. This has been established in America, and we have to register it here in England. Now, it is very important that when we belong to a religion, we have to know what are the commandments of that religion. And so far we have not drafted anything. It cannot be a thing made suitable to people or suitable to human beings. It cannot. And it cannot compromise with your suitability. Like in Russia, as I told you the story, I went there and I said I would like to see a church. So they took me down to a church, which was the Orthodox Greek church, and my husband was also there. We were VIPs. So the head of the church came down, took us to lunch. And he said that today, these days they are fasting, so he cannot take any meat. I said, all right. We all sat down. But he went on drinking, so much so that he forgot that he had guests or anything. He never even came to see us all. So the officers who were with us started all laughing when we came out. We didn't know where he was, because he was fasting, So when we came out, these officers said that, see, this is religion. So then they told me the story that Tsar had an idea that everybody has got a religion. Why not? Russia also should have some religion. So they sent for the Catholic people to come down and tell them about Catholicism. So the Catholic came. That time there was only Catholicism. So they came and they said, all right, Catholicism is very simple. That you can drink, do what you like. Only thing, you cannot marry again. Tsar said this won't work out in Russia. It's difficult. Not for us. Rumal dete. Where is she? So he said, all right, now let's have another one. So they sent for the Muslim Islam. So the Muslims came in. And the Muslims came in and they said that you can marry any number of wives, doesn't matter, but you can't drink. They said this won't suit us. So they had another third religion. That was this supposed to be orthodox, you see, orthodox religion, the most liberal one, was this orthodox Greek religion. And they said, oh, you can drink and you can have as many wives as you like, as long as you give us sufficient money. Only their interest was money. They said, this is all right. Very good religion. We have to give them money, and only thing they have to do is to call us religious, so that we are religious people. Nobody should say they have no religion. That's how the religion came into this country, Russia. And with this kind of a religion, who's going to believe into it? It's correct. After coming to Sahaja Yoga, you can see that all these so-called religious bodies have ruined the name of religion completely. All those people who talked of religion, this, that, and one theory to another theory, one incarnation to another incarnation they used, have ended up into a nonsensical stuff. And everybody is seeing so clearly now that it does not give you any whatsoever idea as to what is God, as to the experience of God. So this religion that was established was to give balance to people, has made them very imbalanced. They are fanatics. Everyone, Protestants, as I told you, are the greatest fanatics because they are very subtle and they are very sophisticated, so nobody can find out their fanatic ideas. With this, now we have Sahaja Yoga. And Sahaja Yoga has given you realization, the real experience of the divine. For the first time, now you can feel that you are the spirit. You can feel the powers of spirit. There are so many ways in these 12 years you must have seen that you should be convinced that there is an all-pervading power which is active, which is helping you, through which you have come up to this stage, and that it has empowered you to do miraculous things. We have got my photographs to give you a proof. The other day somebody took a photograph in Jordan at the time of Sahasrar Puja thinking that mother gave a bandhan to John, and the photograph has got the light, the bandhan light in it. So the unconscious is working very strong, and it is trying to help people to understand God's ways. So we cannot change His ways, His styles, His rituals, His methods. That's why I'm here to tell you. I am like a mouthpiece of the unconscious, to tell you what is to be done, what is right, what is wrong, what is not to be done. Now, in this religion, you yourself are awakened into religion yourself. You become sensitive to religion yourself. The coding and everything is within yourself. You have to yourself feel it. How you feel vibrations. When you feel the vibrations, how do you lose vibrations? What happens? All those things are just within yourself. Of course, after some time we might be able to say what behavioral changes one should take. But you can find out yourself if you want to find out what is right and what is wrong, and what is to be done to keep up the vibrations. But vibrations are, one way, extremely charitable, very charitable things. Even if you do little wrong, they may not disappear that moment. But you will get a feeling within yourself that this is wrong. After some time you will find it will show that you have no vibrations, and you will know that you have no vibrations. So the first principle of Sahaj Dharma is, or what you call the Vishwa Nirmala Dham, is that you should be able to keep up your vibrations going as they are, or increase them, or improve on their sensitivity. The more sensitive you are, the better you are. If the sensitivity is lacking, then one must say that Sahaja Yoga has failed in you so far, and you have to work it out. But the problem of human being is very different. That is, that when they are ascending, when they are trying to get out of the Bhavasagara, there are so many human things which are with them. And those things try to bring them down again back to the place from where they started. For example, say you are a person who has had no power at all in life, and also you are a person who has enjoyed some powers. Both are just the same. Both are power drunk or power hungry, or whatever you may call it. A starving man is the same as a man who aspires for food all the time. Both are starving. In the same way, the one who aspires for power, in both ways, is the same person. When he comes to Sahaja Yoga, instead of becoming humble and understanding that there's something lacking in me, myself, he starts forming groups. He starts saying, all right, this is not good, this fellow is not good, you better correct yourself, you do that, do this, that, and others. He does not want to become a perfect person himself. The one who has attention towards anything like that, or falls into any group whatsoever, goes into trouble, and I immediately know from his face that something is wrong with this person. So to form into groups itself is a sign of our deterioration. Like in our cells in the body now, say, for example, say there are blood cells which are flowing. Suddenly, when they are harmed or sick or anything, they coagulate together and it forms a lumpish thing. So when you are moving, you are free, then one must understand that you are healthy. But as soon as there is a barrier made that this man is bad, this woman is bad, so now a barrier is. The whole group, you see, forms. One group here and one group there and one group there. But as Sahaja Yoga is complete discretion, which is to be developed by the people who practice it, discretion. They have to also know there are some people who are not to be dealt with, to be discarded, individually. Like there's somebody, one person, X person is there who is caught up very much and he's got lots of badhas, this, that. Now, if he's badhik or anything, everybody must individually drop him, not to discuss him or talk about him collectively, but just drop him if they were sensitive. If you are sensitive, immediately you know this person has a badha, nobody will go close to him. But invariably I have seen in groups when we meet, always 5 booths, if there are, they will all sit together. Immediately you know the group is there, mobilized. And the 5 good people will never sit together. That means we are not yet developed ourselves individually within ourselves. So the first attitude to develop this dharma within us, dharma here means the one that is going to develop in our central nervous system, our own new dimension we have to develop within ourselves. In a deeper way, it is what we call the subtler being that is within us is to be awakened, that it lies in the nerves, you can say, itself, in the central nervous system. To develop that, we have not worked out. Why? Because our attention is still out. We are worried about another person, we are worried about third person, we are worried about this, he shouldn't say this, he shouldn't do. But the person who is really trying to improve himself will always go inward. Now, supposing he sees a person who has a badha, he just shun that person, will be away from that person. Will not say anything collectively, will not discuss it, will not talk about it, just finish it. Not all right. But then you may say, Mother, then at least 50% Sahaja Yogis would be like that. I don't think so. If you can scan it out yourself, you'll find there are about 4 or 5 like that who are badhiks, which I know. The rest of you are alright. When you come in contact with them, then you get it. Because you have not developed that powerful personality. And that's how I get sick myself, because you are within myself. So all of you must individually look after yourself, so collectively that's me, I am looked after. But we do not look after ourselves, that's the main point. There are so many methods by which we can just become perfect. How much time do we spend in that? Now, in the ashrams, whatever I have heard about England, that is the greatest place where one can become absolutely lost. If you want to lose your vibration, go to an English ashram, especially London. The vibrations in the ashram are the worst of all. Can you imagine such a thing? I mean, why it happens? One lazy boy comes in the ashram. He's got a booth in him. He's a lazy person. Normally a person should be active. So what he does not want to get up in the morning. Another one tries to follow him. How are you going to ascend? Let us think about this. This lecture should not be just listened to, it's to be practiced, it's to be understood. You have to be serious about it. How are we going to ascend? Are we going to ascend by reading the book Ascent? Or by listening to Mother's tapes, which is very interesting? How are we going to improve? By taking the medicine. What is the medicine? Is nothing but meditation itself is the medicine. Now, when do you do meditation? You have to do meditation in the morning time. That's the best time because you are not yet busy. Early in the morning, you get up and do it. But you just can't get up. I can't get up. Why not? That day you just don't eat your food the whole day. Next day you get up. You have to treat your body in such a way that it becomes your slave. You have to use this body for enslavement and not this body for your enslavement, your spirit's enslavement. So if you could just understand that the only way to ascend is through meditation and not through all kinds of politics, talking, jabbering, mental feats, nothing of that. But I've seen people they cannot steadily do it. What we call satatya means consistently. They will do it today and do it tomorrow. But in the ashram it should be a rule. Every morning there should be some nice music to be played. In India, the radio starts at about 6 o'clock. In Bombay, I don't know if you have seen to that. At 6 o'clock, the first thing is the one what we call the awakening of the gods. Bhupali, they start. They start singing that. From 6 to 8, nothing but bhajans and God's songs are there. Nothing else. The whole of Bombay has to listen to that. There's nothing else. No news. So early in the morning when you get up, you can start with some sort of a conch or anything that you want to, or with the bells, or maybe what we call the ghanta, that thing we have like that. Or you can start with a bhajan so that everybody gets it. Like, go and have your baths. Keep the room hot. Come and sit down for your meditation. Now those who are householders could be even worse than this, because that's also another, my house, my child, my family, this is my business. I have to struggle through all this because everybody, I am marrying this person. Now that person is running away, so I have to marry another person. That person is about to run. Then I have to get the third problem of the children. Then how to get the children. All the time this problem is there. Everybody is bothering me with this problem. What to do with the wife? Where to keep her? She's so horrid. This, that and everything. Now all these problems can be solved on one point. If you are a strong person, you can solve the problem like that. So instead of wasting your energy in solving these side matters, why not you become something great yourself and get the problem solved by itself? It's logical. But what I have seen about people is this, that they do not understand their own value and worth. Now as I have said, this is Shiva's country, Sadashiva's country, with the Kailasha itself. Now where you are born, where you are Sajubis, what is your position here? Into what position have you come? Where are you? Think of your position as in the land of Sadashiva. The other day only I told them that in the land of Sadashiva, Ganas are there. And as the Americans got the idea of the smirks, they are the Ganas. And you won't find any smirk sitting down is so active. Not one smirk you'll find who's sitting down. Either he'll be a barber, or he'll be washerman, or he'll be beginner, or he'll be fiddler, or he'll be something doing. So to become that, you have to be active in your body. The activity in the body has to come. But from where to get the energy for the activity? From the spirit. And if you do not meditate, how will you get to that? You just tell me, is there any way out? This is the basic problem, that people do not have regular habits. They do not, they are very hectic people, extremely hectic. In the West, people are extremely hectic. Indians are that way quite regularized because of a very strong parenthood. Parents themselves are sensible and regular. We have to be regular too. There are no regular habits. Somebody will get up at 6 o'clock, somebody will get up at 9 o'clock, somebody will get up at 10 o'clock. And if you have to wake up an Englishman, they say, use a bar spool. Of course, that's the greatest sin. That's the greatest sin. But even if you have to commit the sin, use a bar spool. So sleep is such an important thing for them, and they are always tired. Now why this tiredness comes in, we must understand, is due to heart. Because the heart is weak, that's why you become tired. If you raise the heart, you will be alright. So one by one we'll see now. Why is his heart weak? Because we have done anti-God things. We have done things which we should not have done. So our heart is weak. They are always tired, and they are not ashamed of saying, I am tired. Anybody who listen to the television will be surprised. They will have within 5 minutes at least you must hear 6-7 times coming up. Young people, they'll come and sit on the chair. First I used to think it's a fashion that you must do like this, otherwise you are not impressive. Because you know the fashions here, the impressed people are so funny. I don't understand. I thought it was a fashion. But why are you tired? Let's see. Why are you tired? Your heart. Heart is catching. Why is heart catching? In the very subtlest of subtle is that you have done anti-God things. Now, how do you cure that? Now let me have answers.
We put your mother in our heart.
Good idea. You have to put me in your heart. Now see how the cosmos of the whole Sahaja Yoga system since long has been built in you. Heart is the most important part. From everything circulates. Alright? This heart is the one when it fails, but you are dead. No more than. The spirit resides in the heart. Alright? Now you are made like this even in your head, that the heart center comes up exactly on the Brahmarandra, where it has to break. So if your heart is weak, you cannot pierce it. So putting me in your heart and raising me to your Sahasrara, that's the best way you can cure your heart. But that's not so. You also put some theological concepts on that. I've seen people do. So, Mother, I put you in my heart, I love you very much, this, that, everything. But I see there's not Mother there at all. Just lip service. I'm putting you in my heart, of course you are there. Where am I? I try to find, I can't see myself there. No, I'm not there. So from where do I see you? Through your eyes. If I'm there, I can see through your eyes I can penetrate up to that. Such eyes are very different. Your eyes have to change through your heart. There's no deception in between. If your heart changes, your eyes will change. You don't have to tell me. I know that. So this I love you, why? Because I wanted to have a job. Finished. I love you, mother, because I thought my marriage will be solved, problem will be solved. I give you this because I'll get money. I pray for you because I must have a child or something like that. It's so much below. But the state must reach where I just love you for nothing at all. Just love you because I enjoy it. I enjoy that love for my own enjoyment. Just for my own enjoyment I love. Not even for assent, for anything, but I just enjoy that love within myself. For nothing at all, just for myself I love you. As long as you live on relative terminology, you cannot work it out. Now, why do I live in the ashram? It's cheap to live there. It's easy, children are looked after, quite nice, you are safe. Mother also comes sometimes. If you are sick, she'll look after us. So she treats us. Otherwise, I leave it to mother to do everything. Still you are in duality. You have to just love me because you enjoy it. Otherwise, I'm not asking you to love me, am I? How can you ask anyone, you love me, come along. I'll put a pistol, come along, love me. Can you do it? You can't. You can demand money, you can demand anything, but can you say, alright, now, hands up, give me your love. So it cannot be forced. So the depth of the heart must be brought in. Now heart is covered with funny ideas. The thought which is in the mind, as we say, actually the thoughts are covering the brain, and those thoughts ultimately cover the heart. I have told you what is the connection between heart and the brain is. So if these thoughts are covering our heart, how can we open out? For example, a thought is there that I love mother because she has to sell my house. Alright. Now the house doesn't sell. How is it? Mother has said it will be sold. Then why is it not sold? This is not the level of divine love. You are going to love the divine. It has to be pure love of simple purity. And that depth you all have. That's the special thing you have. All of you have that within you, that heart within you. If you understand this very small thing is actually the seed of all the mantras. Now when you say that you love me very much, I do not think you do love. But you ask yourself, do I really love mother? Now face. No, I do not. Still there are so many other foolish ideas into my head. still I am an intellectual. Still I am seeing mother from an intellectual point of view, or from an emotional side. It's a state. It's a state of Nirananda. It's a state. And such a person is never challenged, and even if he's challenged, is never affected. Such a person suddenly stands up and you see a lotus before your eyes. Now you are sitting in the city which is governed by Sadashiva. Here you are born. You are all the great spirits who are born. Now you are the ones who have to give fragrance to the whole world. It has nothing to do with any other thing like status, money, position, nothing. What was the status of Christ? He was a carpenter's son. How much did he earn? Nothing. Did he go to a university? Never. Did he study any Greek mythology or something like that? Never. Did he bother his head about libraries? Never. But he was Christ. In the same way, it does not matter to what level you go, to what extent you go in your material side. It is your spiritual side which is important. And for that it is important, you must face it. That's only possible in meditation. Honestly to face it. But the trouble is, as soon as mother gives the lecture, it's finished there. Nobody thinks, what has happened? Why are you crying? Tina? Mommy? You want to go to mommy? Alright. Where is mommy? Alright. Take her, take her. Don't cry, mommy is there. What is that? Poor thing, she's feeling. Don't cry, don't. It's all. Alright. No, nothing to cry. Now, as I said, 12 years of my tapasya is over. I've really worked very hard, I must say. England is not easy, and London is even worse. And you get terrible pain from your liver, it starts moving towards your heart, just like a dragon in this country. The liver is bad, the heart is dark. It's not easy to live here. Moreover, I have put you all in my heart, and you are circulating in my body. You have to be kind to me. The level has to be much better. But as soon as somebody achieves some level, people start criticizing him, saying things against that person, forming groups, forming things. As I told you before, you are also very fortunate that I am here in England. I have spent much more time than I have spent anywhere else. And still I cannot say definitely about any one of you. I mean, of course, some of them are perfect, but otherwise, that any day you will become John Gilpin, you can't say. Suddenly I find somebody just suddenly jumping on a horse. So, this character that we have within us of becoming John Gilpin must be watched. Humility is needed. We have to be humble and see within ourselves. Why do we become John Gilpins? Certainly. What happens to us? This is a very, very common character. the example I went to a hotel with my husband, stayed overnight. It was in England. And next morning, I think there was a wedding or something, whatever it was. And two ladies, young girls, I should say about 25 years of age, wearing a nice dress and a hat and all that, talking to their boyfriends who were also very dandily dressed, talking as if they were some sort of, you see, dukes or duchesses or something like that. So talking so big with their hats and this and that. My husband looked at him, by the way, put on his spectacles. These are the girls who come to clean our house, in our office. So really, look at them. Just putting the hat, they feel they have become duchess or what. And as soon as they saw him, they became very peevish. Ran out. But I was amazed, how could they suddenly take up a role of some sort of a royal family stuff, they were walking. I mean, we couldn't help laughing, both of us, but I mean, he laughed much more because he said, I can't believe it there. And he could not believe it for a while, but when they became peevish, you see, their reaction really proved that they have just become duchess. They had some hats on. If they wear a hat and talk big, finished. Now they're big. In the same in spirituality. Just because you have been to Sahaja Yoga, finished. Then now you are yogi of Yogeshwara, more than Shri Krishna yourself. So one thing is this John Gilpin business, which is stupid, which makes a mockery out of ourselves. There are stories and stories, I can tell you, of this mockery. How ego makes you a stupid fool. So this is the biggest hurdle I think we have here, is the ego. But then you tell somebody, then said, it was my ego he did it. As if the ego hangs somewhere like a monkey. And the monkey came and did the job and again went back on hanging out. Otherwise it's my bhoot which did it. But when do you do something? Why should we deceive ourselves? This is a very serious type of deception of ourselves. Why? We are Satyagis, we are born in the Sadashiva's land. Why not be with that beautiful being which is truthful, which is real, which is within us, which is the spirit? So the greatest hurdle is of our ego, which can be shown in many ways. Because you will see your reflection there. The first is, as I told you, wearing a hat means then the upper lip goes up suddenly. I think the hat sucks in, I think. Then they start saying sentences which are funny. I told you about, we had in our family a person who had epilepsy. And he was mentally off fellow. And you see, sometimes he used to get into ego too. Then he would wear very good socks and he would polish his shoes nicely, shine them, wear nice shoes, wear a good suit, maybe 3-piece or something, and sit down on the bridge of our house where we had a sort of an entrance to the gate, and would sit there and he would call someone. I say big bot. I say big bot. I say big bot. I mean, English he knew only big bot. So he thought he's an Englishman. He used to call everyone like this, see. And we would wonder, why does he do like that? What is the thing that makes him say these words like, I say big bot? You see, he had seen some English people, talking like that. So he used to call all the people going on the road like this. I say big bot, I say big bot. So then in our family, we if somebody becomes John Gilpin, we say he's become big bot. So this big bot business is horrid. It should be avoided completely. But the second thing that happens to us is very good, is when we do not, if you are sophisticated, well educated, then it is not big bot, it is bot bit. Then we say sarcastic things. Say something in a sarcastic way, never in a direct way. In a sarcastic way we enjoy. You see on the television, you get really surprised how people talk to each other sarcastically. So what? Up goes on. And such sarcasm. And according to them, sarcasm perhaps is the intense intelligence or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is, certified as what. But whatever may be the certificate for it, is the most gruesome act. These days we do not kill people, do we? If we kill, we'll be handcuffed. We do not beat children, we do not beat anyone because we'll be handcuffed. But to say a sarcastic thing is in modern times the most gruesome act which is not punishable under law, but not under the law of Vishwa Nirmala Dham. The sarcasm is the essence of English character taken from. Never say the thing straightforward. And that's a sign of intelligence. They've been to a big training of it. First of all, they'll not say anything, they'll sulk. Keep quiet. Not to say it. But if they say, they must say like this. Something that is sort of a stagnated, dirty, filthy water that smells. They'll not open their mouth, but once they open their mouth, God save you. God knows what will come out of that mouth. Maybe some snakes, maybe some scorpions. And nobody feels hurt about it. That's the best part of it. So this is one thing one has to guard against, our Vishuddhi. Not to use sarcasm comes from left Vishuddhi very much. At all, because that's against me. I'm never sarcastic with you, man. I tell you straightforward on your face, you have a bhoot on your head, that's all. Or if you are an ego, I said it's ego. Why be sarcastic? So we have to learn how to be straightforward and sweet. Let's first decide today, we are going to say nice things to others. But no. Nice things will be like this. If somebody, supposing, is a person who, say, is a dwarf. So to say nice thing to him, they'll say, what a tall man is coming. Or if there's a blind man coming, then they will say something. Oh, what eyes, beautiful. So they start from physical to mental level to anything. They go on describing a person. Why do you describe others? Why don't you describe yourself? The whole energy is spent in describing others. What about yourself? So this is another character that we have. We hurt others through our tongues. This tongue is meant for giving the taste of divine to others. To say things that will make people feel comforted. for saying mantras. See, if you want telling lies, your mantras will never be fruitful, never activate. But if you are sarcastic, they will never act. Say it 1,000 times, say it 2,000 times, say it 1,000,000 times. To make your mantras effective, you should stop talking in that manner. If you have to talk something that will be pleasing to another person. Now somebody might say, then if you say pleasing, it may not be the truth. Alright, then don't say it. Not necessary to say. Just keep quiet. But you decide now to turn your head upside down, which is all the time upside down already, so you put it right now and say that within yourself that now no more of harshness from my tongue will flow, because it will never give you the power of mantras. Mantra powers are lost. If you have to say something, say pleasing. Always. Moreover, if you have to correct someone, if you are in a position, if you are the leader, if you have to say, also say it in such a way that you neutralize it. But no sarcasm at all. This is one of the very big snags we have on our Vishuddhi. Now, what is the other snag we have? Let us see. I am talking to you because just now I am a Britisher myself. The another snag I find is saving pounds, saving labor, saving everything else but your spirit. Like I'll tell you, if you want to find out in Englishman, that's what Indian surgeons tell me. Very easy to find out in Englishman. You ask somebody to close the window, everybody will try to do it except for the Englishman who will be sitting down. Never get it. Saving labor. And if you tell any word to an Englishman, then he stare at you like this. Like this. How dare you tell me work? As it is, I must tell you about Australians. I used to think they are very healthy people. They are hardworking, no doubt. They are very hardworking. They come. But I went there and I decided to cook food for them in 2 centers for about 250 and again about 500 people. I mean, I go into such ideas. So, in the first place, you see, all the boys who came to help me were all Indians. They were the ones who were lifting the thing and all that. I said, tell these boys also, they are Australians. After all, they are eating so much of meat, they must be having good muscles. Why are you doing? I said, no, they are delicate people, mother, don't tell them. I said, delicate how? They are very delicate. Though they eat meat, they are very delicate. We know how to do it. Let us do. And both the places, the same people acted. You were there last time? Huh? You were not. Who was there in Australia? Anybody? You were there? Isn't it? They were all Indians who were working there, mainly. Isn't it true? Because they said that they are delicate. At the slightest thing, their waistline will go out. They can't lift these big things. They just can't. And they would not allow. They said, no, let us do it. We know they are delicate people. I was really surprised that for Australians they were thinking like that. And what about English? Because of avoiding labor, saving yourself from labor, you have become weak people. If you don't use one finger, that will become a weak finger, always. Say, if your hand is in plaster for say about a week or 2 weeks, you take out the hand out of the plaster, the hand cannot hold itself. It becomes weak, isn't it, doctor? It becomes weak. If you don't use your hand, it becomes weak. If you don't use your body becomes weak. If you laze out, if you become lazy, you cannot do any work, you don't want to do any work, all your muscles will become useless. Till the age of at least 60 years, you have to use your body very much more than what you are using. So now they will jogging, they'll do jogging. After jogging, it's an out of proportion thing that they do. They are so exhausted. But do your exercises or whatever it is in normal way, but actually do your work. They cannot. They cannot get up fast, they can. I'll get it. The Americans, that way are very fast. If you tell them, they'll say, I'll get it. Telephone comes, I'll get it. 10 persons will run and you will know they're all Americans. That's why they have improved. They are so industrious. Very industrious people. Japanese are extremely industrious. See, they had a problem because the cars could not move out in the streets were all full with the cars. So they wanted to build these flyovers, and within 1 year, they built the flyovers all over Tokyo, which is a very large city. These small little things, they walk like these little things with little legs. Hiroshima, which was bombed, if you go and see that place, you won't believe it was bombed, except for the museum, and they have kept one building just to show that this is the place that was bombed. Otherwise, you won't believe that that was Hiroshima. Same with Nagasaki. I have seen it myself before. I can't imagine how these people have worked it out. So industrious. So, one is lethargy. Krishna has said the first thing is food hit. The worst of all is lethargy. To him, the worst thing that can happen to human beings is lethargy. That is alasyo vijayati. Everything comes out of alasya, laziness. Keep active. Do some work. But in Indian life, I tell you, even my mother was like that. Really well. If you are standing, why are you standing? If you are sitting, why are you sitting? If you are walking, where are you walking? You should be doing something all the time. You haven't seen anyone in India, you have seen villages, even small children are doing something. It's such a hot country, in the day they might have a little siesta. It's a very, very hot country. But all otherwise they are working. That's what, only the industriousness will help you and will keep your mind out of mischief. Everything comes after you have decided not to be lethargic. Tell your mind not to be lethargic. Lethargic minds brings you all these nonsensical ideas. For that you must have regular habits, which you do not have. I am told that those who have been to colleges and universities have been through some regulatory or to some good schools. But once they went to drugs, everything is washed off. So drugs is one thing that kills all your discipline, your proper training of satatya, of consistency. So to overcome that, you must make it a routinous thing, certain thing, absolutely routinous. You'll get over it. It should be, because routine also helps you in one way, that you do not waste much energy. Say for example, I know I have to give 5 strokes to my hair just to make it all right. So I give 5 strokes, finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But supposing I say no, sometimes 5, sometimes 8, sometimes 7. Then I waste my time in brushing my hair. So 5 strokes for the hair is all right. One wash up to 3 times just to wash it off. If you can fix up things like that, you'll be surprised, you'll be saving a lot of time. So this is another thing we do not have, is a definite number of things we have to do. I'll tell you the story of Gandhiji, which you will be surprised. Such a great man like him, to go to his bathroom, so-called hut of his bathroom was there. In between his hut and that hut was there where he had put 7 stones. I don't know why he had put them 7. 7 stones, one after another. While going there, he used to count them 7. Coming back, he used to count them 7. All right. And somebody once put one more there, because thinking they are too far away from each other, whatever it is. Immediately said, why the 8th one removed? Again put 7. I mean, you would say such a great man to waste energy on counting his stones was that he was saving his time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm there. Then I do next thing. So, as far as this material world is concerned, you have to be like a machine. As far as the spiritual life is concerned, you have to be like an ocean. Or like the energy. The machine has to be fixed, and the energy then flows better. You see the two things. The ocean of energy is at work, and the machine is perfect because it has consistent things. Supposing now the machine is made with 2 wires here. Supposing you suddenly take out one, it won't work. All these are fixed things, as you understand machine very well. And all these fixed things can give you a lot of saving of time. While we try to save time, I have no time. Why? Because I was standing before a mirror for about 1 hour. Meditation, we have no time. Standing before a mirror for 1 hour. What were you doing before the mirror? Trying to comb my hair for 1 hour. So where you spend so much time could be saved, so save time. For that you must know your priorities and you must know your importance, that saving time means saving time for our ascent. But in our daily life we do that. Supposing there's a man who has to manage some aeroplanes. What does he do? He takes up his time in dressing up. Sometimes he's late, he just gets up, hurries up, somehow or other, gets into his cab or car, whatever it is, takes the fastest run and jumps to the aeroplane because he has to carry the aeroplane. That's his job. So his priority is not how many times he stands before the mirror, combs his hair, but the priority is he must get to the aeroplane. That's what should be with us also. That how much time do we take to do all these nonsensical things and how much time for the right things. So priorities have to change, and then you will be surprised. You will have lots of time to do many things. What is your priority? That is to be decided. And in your wisdom, you must know your priority is your ascent, because this chance you are never going to get. This is a special chance, specially for you, specially you are going to get it, and you have every possibility of going very high in case you put your priorities. So what is your priority? Firstly.
जय श्री माता जी। अब हम सब मिलकर श्री माता की श्री चरणों की आरती के लिए खड़े होंगे। Now we will all stand for आरती of श्री माता जी's lotus feet। जय श्री माता जी।
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधुर संगीत सुन लो। होए सके जो सेवा, होए सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदि शक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
श्री माता जी, आपका कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद कि आपने हमें अपने श्री चरणों की आराधना करने का अवसर दिया। थैंक यू श्री माता जी फॉर गिविंग अस दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी टू वर्शिप योर होली लोटस फीट। जय श्री माता जी।